had an old back injury that hadn't healed, which I didn't realise until this new one came up. There was a bit of uncertainty for a little while around, could I actually play cricket anymore? I lost my contract with Lancashire and I had about a 3-month period where I was in a little bit of limbo. Yeah, I was lucky enough to play at St George's Park last year as well, and I just remember how loud it was, and yeah, that gave me a lot of love for the SA20 and a lot of desire to want to come back as well. Hi Orange Army, I'm Richard Gleeson and you're watching Fiery Journeys. My first interest was probably, my dad actually used to run the bar at the cricket club in Blackpool, so he'd be down there working, I'd go down and help out, stock up the bottles, and yeah, cricket was just there and about, and you pick up a bat and a ball and you have a bit of a go, and that was probably my first real interactions with giving cricket a go in a bit more of a formal setting. I played football when I was younger. It's probably around 15, maybe 14, 15, where I stopped playing football and I only played cricket then. I was a bit better at cricket. It wasn't like I thought, oh, I'm going to be a professional cricketer. I just did it because I enjoyed it. We had quite a good junior team, and playing with your mates, that's what it was about for me. Yeah, around 14, 15, I think, cricket became my number one. I'm not sure. I think not being in private schools, it maybe didn't give me the opportunities a little bit earlier, maybe. But I don't know, maybe it gave me a little bit of resilience to keep trying and keep wanting to do better and keep trying to play at the highest standard I could. I always, as soon as the professional came into bat in club cricket, I always wanted to be the one bowling, and I wanted to test myself against the best. And that was the same when I started playing minor counties. I wanted to play the highest standard. And then when opportunities came to play some county cricket at a later age, even though it was probably not going to come to fruition because of my age, I still wanted to do it and still to give it a go and try. I had a career path already laid out, but I still wanted to give it a go, just for me really, just to test myself. And maybe it has given me that resilience and that will and that drive to keep trying, even when it's tough. You know, I've had quite a journey to get to where I am, so I've got to appreciate every opportunity I get to play. And yeah, there's going to be times when it goes wrong, but it's a new day. I've not had a long career like guys that maybe came into the game when they were in their 20s. So yeah, I've got to get over it quickly and get back on the horse. Not a bad 3 players to get to start off with. But I remember the day like it was yesterday, and I remember being sat with Liam Livingstone before he went out to bowl, and he asked if I was nervous, and I think that's the least nervous I've ever been for a game of cricket. I don't know whether it was just because it was a case of, well, let's see if I'm good enough. Unbelievable opportunity. It was an amazing day. For me personally, we lost, unfortunately. But I just went out there and I just tried to do what I'd been doing anyway that summer. Say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was always something as well that we said at Lancashire that year was, if it's your best ball, always go one ball too many. Don't change straight away. Don't second guess yourself. If it's your best ball, back yourself, back your best ball, and back your ability. So I stuck with that plan because it had been working well, and yeah, lo and behold, I think he charged me again, so I dropped it short, and yeah, did him for a bit of pace. I did coaching, so that was my main job that I did. I did coaching for Lancashire, going into schools for about 5 years, and I think by having that job and doing my level 3, I think that actually improved my game quite a bit. It allowed me to understand how to plan, how to work on certain biomechanical things in my action. So I do think that helped me. And I think more than like fitness type things that it probably helped with, it was more the mental side of things. You know, it's with players now when they get under pressure, it's the be all and end all, like I'm going to lose my contract, this, that and the other. And yeah, there are all those pressures, but because I've also lived in the real world, so to speak, you know, there's jobs out there that you can do, and I've been in that situation, I've been in that position where you're working a 9 to 5. I've been a school teacher, I've been a cricket coach. So yeah, it maybe helps me get a little bit of perspective sometimes, and maybe helps me get over the losses and the hard times a little bit easier and a little bit quicker. So yeah, in terms of physical fitness and stuff like that, probably it wasn't, I've not done real manual labour jobs per se, but yeah, maybe the mental side of things, it helps. I don't think there was ever a point where I was like, oh yeah, I'm going to do franchise cricket now. It's a difficult thing to do. You know, you've got to be performing, you've got to be doing well to get these opportunities. It's a tough lifestyle to have. You know, there's never any guarantee of you get one competition, you get another competition, but you don't know if you're going to be retained. You don't know if you've got that security. But I had a few injuries in the past. Had a stress fracture in, I think it was 2020. Struggled coming back from that. I had an old back injury that hadn't healed, which I didn't realise until this new one came up. So yeah, there was a bit of uncertainty for a little while around, could I actually play cricket anymore? Could I continue to live my dream of playing county cricket and professional cricket? So during that time, I lost my contract with Lancashire, and I had about a 3-month period where I was in a little bit of limbo. They said I needed to have another scan to see how this stress fracture was healing. So it was about 70% at the time when I lost my contract, and then I think it was the December we had a scan booked in. So in those 3 months, I needed a backup plan and something to fall back on in case the news wasn't good when I finally had the MRI. So I got a job with Myerscough College teaching on a BTEC cricket course. So it was a bit of coaching, a bit of teaching. Used my experience from within the game, from my university degree, from my level 3 coaching courses. But luckily enough for me, the scan was good, but it was still only a T20 contract, and there wasn't much guarantee with that. It was a 1-season thing. It was for 6 months. So I did part-time teaching and part-time being a professional cricketer. So I was doing 3 days a week as a teacher, 2 days a week as a cricketer up until the blast started with Lancashire. Yeah, luckily for me, I did pretty well that year. Got my England debut, and yeah, things went from strength to strength. I had to get a bit of extra time off the teaching job to go and play a few games for England, and yeah, it was. I think I prospered. I think that situation of I had to work hard, I had to have a bit of focus. That was probably the hardest I've ever worked. I was doing 3 days coaching, like I said, and teaching, 2 days playing and trying to be a professional cricketer, and then obviously the pay dropped quite a lot. So I was doing Lancashire age group academy stuff all day on a Saturday. I was doing, I think, 6 or 8 hours coaching on a Saturday full day. So I was working hard, didn't get to spend much time with the family, but it paid off because it helped me get to where I am now. So I don't think I really had any preconceived ideas. But now I'm here and within the group, you can tell there's a lot of passion here for the cricket. Everybody wants to win. It's a really close-knit group. They get around each other, communicate really well, and yeah, make things clear, and you know what's expected, which makes it easier. Life is life. You're not going to win every game of cricket, and it takes that little bit of pressure off sometimes, which makes it easier for the players to go out and perform and to try and entertain and put on a show for the fans and try and grow the game of cricket as well. For me, this is my second time in South Africa, and I've only played at two of the grounds. So each new venue I go to, try and pick Dale's brains and get as much information. He's really good. He makes it nice and clear, and yeah, you get a lot of information from Dale about how to play in these conditions over here. And AD's just brilliant. He takes the pressure off. He lets you know what's expected, and yeah, set the stall out. Yeah, I was lucky enough to play at St George's Park last year as well, and I just remember how loud it was, and yeah, that gave me a lot of love for the SA20 and a lot desire to want to come back as well. So the crowd were unbelievable, the band playing, and everybody loves sunrises. I think somebody said they were queuing up at the gates at like 2 p.m. in the afternoon. You know, there's a real love and support for the team there. And we didn't play our best game that first game, but still we're getting the support online, the support from the fans in the crowd. They all stayed behind afterwards to have photos and autographs. There was no disappointment. They're just happy to support us and back us all the way. So that was amazing to have, and hopefully we can repay that support in the next few games, and especially when we get back to St George's Park, we're going to be trying to put on a show.